All right, welcome back.
Welcome back.
And now it's time for us to get into some conversations. We're looking at labor unrest, strike actions and all that. We're going to the Gonja West district, Damongo specifically, where the Gonja West Hospital, they're embarking on a strike. They've embarked on a strike. We have a report for you. Let's take a look at this report. We'll come back and then we'll get into further conversation.
Doctors at the West Gonja Hospital declared a partial strike on 21st January 2020. They cited the resignation of the medical director and the clinical coordinator as the reasons for the strike. The doctors are only attending to obstetric emergencies, pediatric emergencies, and medical emergencies. The situation has left many patients frustrated at the OPD. The usual busy scenes at the hospital were missing when City News visited the hospital. Only 4 patients were seen at the male and female wards. It was observed that though some doctors were around, they were only attending to patients at the emergency and a few on admission. Most patients who need inpatient care are stabilized and referred. The hospital administrator confirmed the development to City News off record, but said the office of the Catholic bishop who runs the hospital is working to resolve the impasse. City News sources say the medical director and clinical coordinator resigned over some managerial changes at the hospital. Doctors here at the West Gonja Hospital are on a partial strike following the resignation of 2 doctors who served as the medical director and the clinical coordinator. The situation is giving frustrating lives to patients who visit the facility. This is a major referral center for the West Gonja municipality, the Solatuna Kaba district, and the North Gonja district. If urgent steps are not taken to resolve the situation, there could be a health crisis here in the Savannah region.
All right, so that's the report that we have for you. And Richard Fogo, who is our correspondent, is on the line. Good morning, Richard.
Good morning.
Yes, how are you doing today?
I'm great.
All right. So just give us a clearer sense of what sparked all of this off. Why are the people upset and why have they chosen to vent their spleen by going on a strike?
Okay, so as you saw and heard in the report, on the 21st of January, the Junior Doctors Association wrote to the National Health Directorate about the resignation of the medical director, and that the clinical coordinator. Now, the 2 resigned on the same day from their positions, and according to the junior doctors, it has disorganized things at the hospital, and they are unable to deliver normal services. So they were struggling. So after a week, according to them, they didn't get a response from the authorities, neither a meeting or a letter from them. So they wrote a second letter on the 21st, withdrawing the services except 3 that you saw. So that was it. I didn't get to see the letter of resignation by the 2 officers. But my information is that the hospital authorities made some changes to the management system, which they are not pleased about. It does appear their influence in the management structure has been reduced, and so somebody else has been asked to do what at least the medical director knew he was supposed to be doing. And so he felt unhappy about it. And the feeling also is that the person that they asked to do what he was supposed to do is supposed to be a junior. I don't know how factual that is because I've not seen the resignation letter, and the authorities haven't told me exactly what the reasons were. So that, from my information, that was what led to the resignation of the 2 medical doctors. And as I speak now, the hospital is struggling to deliver the services that it usually delivers. I was there, and the hospital is almost empty. The wards are almost empty because they just attend to people, stabilize them, and then refer them to other, hospital.
Yeah.
Which are far from here. We are talking about the regional capital of the Savannah region.
Yeah.
And the hospital serves also, we have the North Gonja district, which does not have a district hospital. So this is the closest referral center for Mango and many other communities. If you go to the Solatuna Kalba district, they have a district hospital now, but they don't have the full complement of doctors to fully operationalize it. So some of the cases are brought here. Now this strike would not accept those cases. So it's a major issue here in terms of health delivery in the region.
Richard, you're saying that the West Gonja Hospital is a referral hospital?
Yes, to the extent that is the only hospital of that standard around here. Yeah, because there are many communities, many chief compounds, many health centers. When they have cases that they can't manage at that level, they have to move them to the district hospital.
Yeah.
So that's a referral. They come, and then now they are not accepting those cases. They also refer them. So once this hospital refers you, that means they're referring you outside the region.
Yeah.
And that means your cost of treatment, like transportation, accommodation, wherever they are sending you, is going to go up. So, and like I said, the North Gonja district don't have a district hospital. It's a sharing boundary with the West Gonja.
Okay.
So they refer their cases also to them and go, sometimes. So it's a referral center, by and large.
Well, Richard, thank you very much for the update on this one. We're going to speak to the MCE of Damango as well, who's been having some meetings, and then get some more details as to how we're going to resolve this situation. All right, so the MCE is available. Karimu Musa Kusubari, the MCE for Damango. Good morning, sir. Hello, good morning.
Oh,
okay,
looks
seems
like we've
we've lost, yes.
Okay, hopefully we can get him back in a bit. Hello?
Hello?
Hello.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to Breakfast Daily.
Thank you so much.
All right. So, I understand you've been holding some meetings with the hospital authorities and trying to resolve the challenge that is going on there. What is it exactly that you understand is the problem, and how are you going about solving this?
All right. Thank you so much for this opportunity this morning. What you people have heard is true, and is too worried to the good people of West Gonja Municipal. And as a leader or a government appointee, it is our mandate to see to it that the healthcare delivering our people are getting good health services in our municipality. So when the issue came up, we are on it. First of all, I called my regional minister, Honorable Mazu Jibril, narrated the issue that I've heard on the ground, but I haven't got any letter or any consistency of the information. For that matter, how are we going to do? Quickly, he called the regional director of Ghana Health Service, and he was on his way to Kumasi. He told him that he would get a place and pack and call him. So later, I've also left from his office. It was the day before yesterday, I called him, and he told me that he had the opportunity to meet the regional director, and it is true, he has narrated. But the issue on the ground, the officers that are resigning, they are resigning from the position that they are holding from the hospital, but they are not resigning for healthcare delivery services to our people. They are still attending agent issues when an agent attend a healthcare delivery. But the reason is that the memo that they also wrote to resigning for resignation, they didn't state exactly the problems that they are facing, or what is their problem, what is their challenges, and they are resigning. But the related is that the issue that pertaining them and they are resigning is known to our bishop. So bishop is who is in charge of the hospital. So for that matter, they are to be meeting the the diocese, that is my Lord Bishop,
The Catholic
to
diocese.
resolve the information. So yesterday, I've also invited the administrator of the hospital. We had a meeting with him, and actually he told us that when the memo brought before him, they saw it, but there's no any information in that memo. The memo that's written that they are resigning from the position that they are holding from the hospital. So, but yesterday, around 11 p.m., they have a meeting because Bishop was out of the country, but he came the day before yesterday. So yesterday, around 11, they are meeting him. He was also supposed to be part of the meeting, but so far we have invited him. He have to come and listen to us what we are doing and what we can do to resolve the problem. So he also waiting for the outcome of that meeting yesterday. So today, this morning, around 10, he will be giving us the outcome, and we'll be meeting the doctors also from the hospital to see our way forward.
So, Mr. Kusubari, to the best of your knowledge, you are not aware of any issues that have been pending or anything like that. This is the first time this is coming to your attention that the officers who resigned had some issues that were unresolved?
No, that is why I said even the memo that they wrote that they are resigning, they didn't state the problems, but they only stated that the problem is known to the bishop.
Okay.
Yes, which is they put all of us in darkness because they didn't specify their worries or their problems or their challenges.
Okay.
The reason why they are resigning, but they stated that it is known to the bishop.
Okay, but in the report that we saw, I mean, the hospital looked virtually empty, and we know that the doctors are on strike there. But you are saying that even the doctors who resigned are still attending to patients. So, what is the actual situation?
That is why I've just said because all of us have heard it on the rumors, so it can be. That is why we are inviting them. You know, because even as of now, we didn't get any letter from our office that they are resigning. We didn't get any letter from them, but we only heard, and we cannot also sit down, and we have invited them, and the administrator said it is true. He has gotten the letter, and the letter is being stated that the problem is unknown to them, but it's only the bishop that knows the problem.
All right, so we will wait for the outcome of the meeting that they will hold with the bishop.
That will be holding yesterday. Okay.
Okay, all right.
And God willing, today we'll get the outcome.
All right.
Then
Thank you
we'll
very
follow up.
much.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right.
That was Karimu Musa
Yes.
Kusubari, the MCE for Damongo, just giving us what he knows, which
Yes.
seems to be very little
Yes.
about the situation at the hospital there. And to be fair to him, he's been kept in the dark.
Yes.
It only came to his attention recently, so we have to wait and see what the outcome is, as he said, with the meeting with the bishop.
What
for
I
the
find
archdiocese.
interesting, though, is why people are being turned away. Because if the officers in question are still at post, not holding their positions, but they're still attending to
practicing.
patients,
Yeah.
then why?
That's exactly. So remember, he said at the end that even that he has to verify. It seems like a rumor because what we saw in the report was
It was
a
an empty
hospital that
place.
looked So it's a bit murky. But let's say good morning to Kojo. Kojo Kotakoto Boateng, thank you for joining us.
Good to be here all the time.
Yeah.
I think this is upside down.
Thank you. No, this is actually breakfast daily. It's not upside down.
Yeah.
But thank you for sending. No, I'm just kidding. Thank you for sending the milk. Anyway, but yeah, Creamy Plus brings us breakfast daily.
And I'm taking it away.
No, you're not. We have to keep it here.
Why are you?
Why are you trying to take our milk,
depriving
man?
The show of
the
its
cream.
resources?
Everybody loves free, especially when it's good creamy plus free. You know.
Well, I mean, I can't argue with
We
that.
can't argue with that. But this one is ours.
Okay, keep it.
Don't worry, we'll send you some.
Keep it.
But it's good to see.
I don't want. Good to see you too.
All right.
So this situation at the the West Gonja Hospital, I mean, it's troubling because it's almost as though something is going on, but we only know bits and pieces of the information. And even at the MCE level, he doesn't know much.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. I mean, I don't understand. I don't feel comfortable about it because if you're MCE, nothing really of this nature should be able to happen under your jurisdiction. That they say that all the issues are known to the bishop. But the bishop is not running the municipality.
But he runs the hospital
Yeah.
or manages the hospital.
Yeah, so at least you, the one running the municipality, should know some.
I think in this case we know one key stakeholder who is the bishop, and the MC is also the administrative head of the district, and so they should work together. Like I always say, MC must talk to bishop, understand the issues, and importantly, the doctors are also people of science, right? They should be able to put their concerns on paper.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's because of point A, point B, point C. We believe that the hospital is not in a good state, so we suggest that we do point A, point B, point C. Then Ghana Health Service, the bishop, the district administration, and all stakeholders, they meet, they discuss, and they find a way forward. Because if you look at the north, if you look at doctor-patient ratio, for example, as of 2017, which is the latest data I have, and the Ghana Health Service should release more data for us to get a sense. The Western region had a doctor-patient ratio, which was 1 doctor to 20,000 people.
The northern region.
The Western region.
Western region.
Followed by, I think, Upper West, then Eastern, and then the Northern region.
Okay.
Now, that old Northern region has been broken into North, Northeast, and then Savannah region.
Yeah.
But if you are still looking at them as a whole, their doctor-patient ratio is about 1 doctor to 12,000, 13,000 people. So the moment there are issues like this, and the doctors are not going all out to administer healthcare to people, then you're actually removing the capacity which is not adequate from the system. And if you look at the northern region as a whole, they've got about 16, 17 hospitals, just about 4% of the over 300 or 400 hospitals we have in this country.
Okay.
So whenever there are issues like this, I get worried. Because if you travel up north and to a lot of the rural areas, you realize that people have to do 20 kilometers, 30 kilometers to get access to healthcare. Right here from Adabraka, you walk down, there is Morton. You go further, there is the C something hospital. There's another hospital just here.
There's
right.
There's quite a few in this
There's
area.
Adabraka Polyclinic just here.
There's Ridge.
There's
just
Ridge
there.
Hospital. You go this way, before you get to Kolibu, you'd have driven past some other private hospitals. Within the urban areas, getting to facilities is easy. Maximum 4, 5, 6 kilometers you have a hospital. And you are sure that at least if there is not a doctor, there is a highly qualified health professional to assist you. This is not the case in the rural areas. So any activity or any situation that reduces the capacity of that geographical area, I think should be dealt with which it should be prioritized. So at the moment, the MCE should add this to his priority issues. Let's fix this today. Call Bishop. The doctors have a leadership. The former medical director, who is also at the center of this, let them write their concerns. Let them table it. Let's discuss it and deal with it, because the situation when it comes to capacity for healthcare in the area doesn't look good. So to remove this capacity from the system won't make it any better for the people. And mind you, there is Hamatan with all its related health issues. Temperatures rise and all the issues that they have, CSM and all those things. So we always need people to be present to deal with issues. We need the doctors to be present. And the MC, I want to urge him, he should use all the negotiation powers he has. He should use all the intelligence on the ground to understand the situation and fix it today so that the doctors return to work.
Right. So we have the diocesan health director for Damongo. We want to just, have a conversation with him as well. Good morning, sir. Hello.
Okay. Well.
Okay, so we'll get him on the line, and then we'll have a conversation with him as well. But yeah, I mean, you've raised very critical issues here. I think that the Ghana Health Service also, I'm sure they've, in mapping their hospital, distribution around the country, they know what the challenges are there. I think Ghana Health Service should also jump into the situation ASAP.
And since we are talking about the assistant health director, then we are talking about the CHAG group of hospitals.
Okay.
So this hospital, I believe, falls under the Christian Health Association of Ghana. So we've sat here to identify the key stakeholders.
Yeah.
CHAG, Ghana Health Service, because Christian Health Association of Ghana performs a valuable service that benefits the Ghana Health Service in general.
Yeah.
Then the MCE, the association, the medical association in the space, and if possible, even traditional authority, let them get together.
Yeah.
We are humans, we are reasonable people, and when we listen to each side, we'll know what is happening and fix it, so that the people can get proper health care.
Okay.
Talking about the healthcare delivery and mapping, as Kweku David said, we know about Agenda 111.
Yeah.
Do we know what the plans are? I mean, sorry to put you on the spot on this, but to beef up hospitals or clinics in that area, because we know for this district and the surrounding towns, this is the only district level hospital they have.
Yeah.
And so it serves a wide range of people who have to travel far and wide to get there. But in looking at this situation in particular, I would hope that the authorities are seeing the emergent need to situate more hospitals to buttress what is being delivered here as well.
Yeah, so in an area like this, with the little knowledge we have about Agenda 111, they would have to get one Agenda 111 hospital. Because the government says that they are taking district hospitals to districts without government of Ghana district hospitals, right? And looks as though this Christian Health Association facility is the one serving as a district hospital. You go to some districts and we don't have a government of Ghana built district hospital. It's, say, a Catholic hospital, a Presby hospital, a Methodist hospital, an Ahmadiyya hospital, which is serving the people. So there's a need to ensure that these people also get the same. And one thing we must do, largely with Agenda 111 and health service infrastructure provision, is that when we are building the hospitals, we need to also create space and room for the professionals to thrive wherever we throw them.
Yes.
Because I have interacted with a lot of doctors, nurses, and healthcare professionals. They don't want to go beyond Accra and Kumasi. Because when you go there, they say when they go beyond Accra and Kumasi, their growth is stagnated. For example, I have a friend, he completed medical school here in UST, went to Konfanoche, and then he was taken to Offenso, then he was taken to Nkranza. Now, whilst he was serving the rural areas, his colleagues in Accra and Kumasi were advancing themselves academically. So by the time he got back, they had risen up the ladder, earning better, getting better positions, and he's there. So when we build these hospitals, we should have a structure such that personnel posted to the rural areas at a certain point also get the chance to come back into the urban areas for career advancement. If we cannot bring them back, a facility like the Tamale Teaching Hospital must be vigorously expanded such that it can serve the people up there. So that once you are, if you are down south, you have Kolebu, you have Konfanoche. If you are lucky and UGMC is fully operationalized, then you can also do some advancements there. If you go up north, you have Tamale Teaching Hospital, which, even though it's a teaching hospital, is not as large and as resourced and as functional. You have the whole teaching hospital, which still cannot do certain things. So I believe that we're expanding healthcare. We want Dr. Kweku David, in fact, this is a person better to be described as a doctor, Dr. Kokui, to go to Damongo. But when Kokui goes there, you know that there's an ecosystem around her. She has a family, husband, children. They have educational and advancement needs. So we should think about how we will not deprive people who choose to go and serve God and country in the rural areas the chance to advance career-wise. So that there's a system of rotation that makes everybody serve some and everybody advances some.
All right.
Yes,
well,
equity, fairness.
we've got the Diocesan Health Director for Damongo, Aidan Ngmembon, on the line. Good morning, Aidan.
Good morning.
Thank you for joining us on Breakfast Daily.
Thank you too, and good morning to all your cherished listeners.
Great. Now, we are discussing the situation with the district hospital in Damongo. As we understand, the medical director there and the clinical services director both resigned. We understand that they did not specify reasons for their resignation in their letter, but they said that their reasons for resigning are known to the diocese or the bishop. So we just want to find out from you. We understand there'll be a meeting between the bishop and the parties or stakeholders involved, but could you shed a bit more light on this for us? How much do you know, as a representative of the diocese, about what's been happening at that hospital?
Okay, thank you very much. It is true that the position of the occupant of the position of the medical director or medical superintendent had sent in a letter of resignation, resigning from the office of the medical superintendent. And also, the clinical care coordinator had also sent in a letter resigning from his position as clinical care coordinator. Mm-hmm. In those two letters, the reason for which they both resigned from their position had been spelled out. However, let me put on record that those letters hadn't come to the public domain. What came to the public domain are memos. And those memos were to inform staff of the facility that they have resigned from their position. Therefore, if any staff needed anything in relation with those offices, they were not to be contacted in person, but rather they should contact the management of the hospital. And so what has come to the public domain, I listened briefly when you were interviewing the MC.
Yes.
What came to the public domain is the memo. And the memo did not state the reason for which the resignation had been tendered in.
Okay.
However, the letters that were addressed to my Lord Bishop of the diocese, Most Reverend Peter Paul Yele Zome Antier, the reasons for their resignation had been stated.
Okay.
Ever since the resignations came in, we have had series of engagements trying to resolve the issue. And so that is the point at which we are. We want to resolve the issues, and then we will move on from there. Because it is not just prudent that they will tender in letters of resignation stating certain reasons, and you do not engage them. You do not also verify the reasons. Then you go ahead to react. So as it is now, no official communication has been issued to them, indicating that their letters of resignation have been accepted or otherwise. That is yet to be done.
Aiden,
let me also put on record that they are still rendering services.
Mm-hmm.
They are still rendering services.
Okay.
Of course, as pending the final pronouncement or resolution of the issue, they had certain challenges. For example, a sense of direction, because they thought that the office of the medical director is vacant. And so as medical doctors, the one to take instruction from was not there. And so that vacancy had been established. And so they expressed concern in another letter that it was hampering their work. Nonetheless, a lot of engagement is ongoing to have this resolved.
Okay, Aiden, what are the reasons that were stated by the two individuals we're discussing for their resignation?
I would not put out all for now, but I will touch on one main issue. So in the case of the medical director, one of his core reasons has to do with the organogram that we operate as a diocesan health service, particularly as a hospital. And so he isn't comfortable with the organogram as we have it now. And that is one of the reasons.
What aspect of the organogram is he uncomfortable with?
Well, so the organogram, as practiced by the Christian Health Association of Ghana and National Catholic Health Service, has always laid emphasis on a tripartite management system. And by tripartite, what it means is that you have a 3-member core management team of the hospital, which is responsible for the day-to-day running of the hospital. And this 3 management core member team include the medical director, the health services administrator, and then the nurse manager. That has always been the framework across all the CHAC facilities that we work with.
Okay, so why was he so unhappy with that setup such that it caused his resignation?
So, what he indicated is that the ceremonial leadership among the core tripartite members. So let me also place on record that so on the core tripartite members, that is the medical superintendent, medical administrator, and then the nurse manager, they are all equal. They are all equal. Nobody reports to the other. But of course, within that group, at least they should also, for example, if they have their meetings, they should have somebody chairing their meeting.
Okay.
And so specifically, he did indicate that there is a new arrangement in which the health services administrator chairs management meetings and also is the spending officer. And that is one of the reasons why he's not too comfortable.
Okay.
And that the office of the medical superintendent has been reduced to just clinical care management instead of managerial in general. But let me lay a little bit background now that I've brought this up. Let me lay a little bit background.
Very quickly.
Yes, very quickly. That this hospital has been in the media space since 2019 for not too good reasons. We've had a lot of challenges, industrial challenges since 2019. And so in getting out of that 2019 situation where we are putting things right, a committee that was put in place to put things right after the disturbances in 2019-2020 called the Normalization Committee had actually established the situation whereby the medical superintendent then felt that power had been taken from the office of the medical superintendent, then expresses the concern that power has been taken from the office of the medical superintendent and given to the health services administrator. And this is not too good in his perspective for good operationalization of the day-to-day running of the hospital.
Okay.
So that is where we are now.
Aiden, we're very grateful for your time. Again, we're looking forward to seeing the outcome of the meeting between all parties, including the bishop. But thank you for joining us on Breakfast Daily.
Right, thank you. I'm most grateful.
All right.
So I mean, we'll take a short break. We'll come back, and then the conversation will definitely continue. We're not done with this. All right, welcome back. Don't forget that the show is interactive. We do want to hear from you. Hashtag is Breakfast Daily. WhatsApp line is 0550-585832. This show is sponsored by Creamy Plus. You want to start your day off with a good dose of Creamy Plus in your tea or coffee. Now, before we went for the break, we had a conversation with Mr. Ngengbong, and he's the diocesan health director in Damongo. And, you know, the challenges are pretty obvious. There's power play going on here. That's what it seems to be. That's what it sounds like from the conversations that we had with him. Kojo? Yeah.
Well, now we know who has the reason, or who knows why. And so, like I said earlier, I think they should talk.
They should talk.
It's a lot of stress on the people. if the hospitals are not working at full capacity.
Yeah.
Especially in an area which is under capacity already. So please, doctors, CHAG, the district assembly, opinion leaders, let all of them go in and talk. I'm sure whatever reasons that drove the doctors to take whatever decisions they took are not reasons that were taken in bad faith. I'm sure there's some good faith behind what they are doing.
Yeah.
And they should show the same good faith by meeting the authorities. The authorities should also sit and talk and deliberate and see how they can fix this. It can be fixed. I don't think they should go beyond today, really. It can be fixed.
Yeah. Well, talking about hospital unrest and all that, there's more that's happening. And this time we go to Kumasi. We have a report of what's going on at Komfo Teaching Hospital, a report by our colleague Fatih Abubakari. Let's take a look.
Of Komfo Doctors Association, management of the Komfo Teaching Hospital has failed to respond to several calls on them to comply with the implementation of the assigned conditions of service that has been directed by the Finance Ministry.
Okay, so our main concerns stem from the fact that some parts of our conditions of service signed in 2019 hasn't been met as at now. Included in that bracket is our car maintenance allowance and our 13-month salary, our 13-month allowance, which hasn't been paid. We hope that these ones will be paid. Now, the other ones are general ones that is being dealt with by GMA, and then this one is directly to be paid, as we understand, by our direct employer, which is Komfo. So we are requesting that Komfo has the commitment. So in our letter, we stated that they should have a payment plan, which means that there should be commitment from them to pay. And as at now, we haven't had that commitment yet. So we are letting them commit to pay, so that we are sure that at least they have accepted to pay. So we are saying they should commit to paying, and then give us a plan to pay. And so we are hoping that that will come in. The other ones, we hope that government will also take it serious and come and make those arrangements to fulfill the conditions of service that we signed in 2019.
Speaking to City News, the Vice Chairman for Komfo Doctors Association, Dr. Kweku Nyame, urged the management of the hospital to give the matter the deserved attention to avoid a possible strike.
The resolution at our General Assembly was to embark on a strike tomorrow. That's 1st February. If we don't have commitment for the payment of those allowances. As to the other ones, GMA hasn't spoken yet, so I can't speak for them. But we hope that it should be taken serious and government will meet our conditions of service. We are going on strike if they don't tell us anything by close of today. There has been repeated engagement with management from last year on this matter at the local level and also at the national level. We are well aware that GMA has had engagements with Labour Commission, the Ministry of Health as well, and then even Ministry of Finance on these issues. And we haven't had any response yet, definitive response yet. And that's why we have gotten to this level.
At the time of filing this report, City News sources revealed that management of the facility had met with members of Komfo Doctors Association to deliberate on the issue. Meanwhile, management of Komfo Teaching Hospital has not been available to speak on the matter.
All right, so that was the vice chairman of the Komfo Doctors Association, CADA. Now, he's actually on the line, and that's Dr. Kweku Nyame. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Yes, So we watched the report where you were stating your challenges, and you made mention of the fact that you're looking at two major issues: your 2020 and 2021 13th month salary has not been paid, as well as car maintenance allowance, and because of this, you're going on strike. Some would say that you're being a little hasty in doing this because others are experiencing far worse conditions and are still at work.
Okay, so thank you very much.
Hello?
Hello, can you hear
Yes,
me?
yes, we can hear you. Go
Okay,
ahead.
so thank you very much. As you read in the request, this is not something we are asking now.
Okay.
So this is something we agreed upon with our employer in 2019
Okay.
and has not been paid. No, so let's look at it in the broader context. As we have always indicated that there are other conditions, which is our employer, and then part of it is supposed to be paid by the hospital, which is the one we are asking Komfanochi to pay. So the border issue is actually that the government has failed to fulfill its part of our conditions of service, including this.
Okay.
So this is not the only issue.
Okay.
And as we speak now, we withdrew our initial strike, or we deferred our initial strike to allow GMA, which is our mother association, to go into negotiation with the government.
Okay.
And that's the only reason why we deferred our strike action. So let's look at it not as an independent item, but it's actually in a broader context of our conditions of service, which hasn't been met by government.
I see. So did you just say that you've deferred your strike action?
Yes, we deferred.
Okay.
We deferred.
Okay.
So it means that it's not cancelled. And we are hoping that negotiations will conclude and then we can go back to peace. As we then can cancel it.
Okay. So
As it stands now, I have just deferred it.
how long are you willing to wait for?
We gave them up to Friday. So we are hoping that by Thursday, tomorrow, we will conclude the negotiations.
You see. Well, thank you for speaking to us. I mean, it looks like government is finding challenges in making sure that they meet your needs, but we would encourage that as much as possible if you can hold out, so that the good people of Kumasi don't suffer too much.
So,
you
thank you again, but let me make this point. So
Okay.
if you look at our request, we are actually not saying that government should give us the money.
Okay.
We are saying that they should give us a payment plan, which simply means commitment to pay.
I think that's fair.
And they are refusing to commit to pay.
Okay. All right.
Do you understand? So
Yes,
it's not like we are
yes.
saying give us the money now. We are saying give us a plan to pay,
Okay.
which means commit that you are going to pay.
Yeah.
And you are saying you can't give me a plan. That means when you sign the conditions of service, you don't have no intention of fulfilling it.
Okay. All right. Well, Doctor.
But you have signed for it.
Yes.
But you are failing to give me a plan to pay. That means you are not committed at all to it. So what about the others?
Yeah.
So we need to insist on it.
Dr. Kwekunyame, thank you so much. We appreciate your time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Kojo, so it's very obvious that there's a strong sense of unfairness, that the doctors feel. And rightly so, because when you look at the initial letter where they're stating that the 13th month, for 2020 and 2021, they're like, you have 12 months and so if the 13th month hasn't come, relax more. But it's a lot more than that.
Yeah.
So this is just what the hospital owes them that they've come out to talk about. But there's also what the government owes them. And they are saying that government, don't pay us our money now. We are saying that show us the plan, show us the commitment to pay, and that's also not coming.
Yeah.
That seems quite serious.
That is serious, and I'm not one who makes certain wild inferences made on allegations, but if you remember the forensic accountant at Confanochi who alleged that the CEO and the board chair had bought 2 luxury Toyota Camry vehicles at a cost of $110,000, and he said he had written to Shraj. He was let go by the hospital. He's in court. I want to assume that some of the doctors and the workers also feel that if management is allegedly buying cars which the hospital does not need because the hospital is in dire need of funds, then management should be also able to work on their 13th month and their car allowances as well.
Yeah.
You know, previously doctors used to enjoy certain
certain
Perks.
perks when it comes to cars. They could import cars without duties and all that. I don't think that thing.
Have they stopped it?
No, they stopped it and then I think they reversed it.
I'm not sure it's still there.
Whether they
Because these days,
reinstated
the
it?
doctors I know, they are all buying used cars on the market.
Really?
I'm telling you. All the
Well,
doctors I know, they are buying used cars. And this gives me the impression that that is not there.
not there
But that's
anymore.
really not the matter. But the matter is that I have a feeling that doctors feel if management is enjoying, they should also get what is due them. And they also feel it's only fair to ask for a commitment and a payment plan. That look, we owe you this much, we can pay A, B, C, D around this time. And you know, the Confanochi doctors were one of the hardest hit groups when COVID came.
Yes.
Because they were taking a lot of the pressure in the middle to northern sector. There were instances when parts of the hospital had to be shut down. A lot of the doctors
They got COVID.
got COVID, and they went through a lot. So they feel that as frontliners, they've worked for it, they deserve it, and they must get it. And one thing I've noticed about Confanochi doctors, from the junior doctors all the way to the specialists, is that they are activists. They when they need something or when they feel that they deserve something, they fight for it. I remember sometime in 2011, 2012-ish, when Bagbin was caretaker health minister. Junior doctors of Confanochi went on a strike because they said they were not getting water through their taps for surgeries. They didn't have the basic things. And they went on strike. And Bagbin had to fly from Accra to Kumasi back then with a promise that the hospital was going to be giving some 2 million Ghana cedis or $2 million to deal with their issues. They don't back down when they make demands that they feel strongly that is due them. So I think the authorities should listen. They've showed their teeth. They are going to bite next time. So we should listen and get to the negotiation table with them as well. And all these things, CTAG threatened a strike, UTAG on strike, Confanochi doctors.
The one that was funny was the clock sag one. It didn't even last.
But clock sag, remember there was also the cocoa carriers thing.
Yes, the carriers,
Yes. So, Kojo, it looks like, I mean, in local parlance, we say when it is coming, then it's doing. You know, it's like there's a season for strikes, and when it starts, everybody jumps into it. What accounts for this?
I think that managers of human resources usually don't talk to the human resources that they work with. For example, in the cocoa board instance, there's a value chain. There are margins at every level of the trade. So when you buy cocoa raw from the farmers and you take it to a certain place, at any point, the value chain actor gets a margin. So at the point where the loaders are, there's also a margin. Those of us in maize and soya, we know how much we pay our loading boys. So if consistently for 5 years, cocoa prices are changing, this is changing, and they are not seeing anything, you should also think about the welfare of your people. And if there are genuine challenges, like I always say, human beings, especially Ghanaians, you are the most reasonable people.
Talk to people.
You talk to them, you engage, you let them know the situation on the ground. They will understand. It's what we are seeing with all these UTAG stuff, and you see that there is no clear communication,
The hardline
proper
stance doesn't
interaction.
help.
In Ghana, when we say stakeholder consultation. Usually is we've published something in the newspaper, read, or we've announced something. We need to make stakeholder consultation a give and take affair. You throw, we take, we give, you take.
You've got to give something to get something.
Yeah.
I like
That's
that.
it. Yeah. Billy Blank said that. I didn't.
I like that. I like that.
You got
Well,
to give
Kojo, thank you very
something,
much
get
for
something.
joining us this morning.
Yeah.
We've been speaking with Kojo Akoto Boateng, who is a co-host of City CBS on 97.3 City FM. We're going to take a short break, and we will be right back. Lots more conversations coming up. Don't go anywhere.